I just want to reiterate some verses right here. It says that the poor are rich in spirit. I heard this guy try to talk about this poor in spirit thing, that the poor are poor in spirit, and it's like, no, actually what it says that the rich are poor in spirit. If you got an abundance of material thing, it's basically saying that your heart isn't all the way right. You're basically the lukewarm church of Lysodia. You know what I'm saying? Which ain't got nothing to do with being on fire believer and a halfy believer, even though that's addressed in these churches. But when it comes to that one, it doesn't. You have everything in the world and you want more. You're not satisfied. You're not happy. And you're not really serving God with all your heart. And you think you don't need anything. And you think you're blessed and full of, and you're draped out with nice clothes. But it says that you're naked and you're blind and you're poor and wretched. Uh, and I hear a lot of people want to argue this this Catholic work ethic where you basically got to work all the time, pay your taxes, or you're a sinner. And that's exactly what the Catholics did, because guess what? How do you think they got all those gold crosses and plates and weird shit? It's from robbing people from their tithes. You know what I'm saying? Not setting them free. It's actually the Egypt work ethic. Egypt. See, when people left Egypt, they were like, man, I'd rather go back to hard bondage, man, than live free. Uh, and that's these people too. See, they don't understand that their job, their position, their security has become their idol. And they like to pick at other people who are having a rough time in life. When it says, like I think it says in Revelations, it says, I know thy poverty. And I know you can't stand those who say they're Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. You know what I'm saying? But then it goes right back to rebuke the person that he says, I know thy poverty. But you do something, I can't remember exactly what it is at the second. But look, even the Church of Lysodia, look, they're all warnings and compellings to change and see what's right and make a plan of action, make a decision to change it. Because I mean, at least if you made the decision and you're working towards it, it's better than those who ignore the warning, right? So it says, blessed are the poor, so they shall receive the kingdom of God. Blessed, or for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Listen, blessed are those who cry now, they will be comforted. Those who do not now will cry later. You know what I'm saying? And same thing here, man. I for a long time I called this dude White Snake because he made this video about this shapeshifter entity called the White Snake, which is just like it's like a big gremlin on steroids, man. And I've been seeing these things flying out of the sky, and the Metroid clouds that hatch snakes. And then this dude was telling me on this Pokemon game, they literally incubate eggs on there. So I don't play the Pokemon game, but I'm just looking at Skywatch and I'm seeing, like, is this the Pokemon geospatial research satellite shit? You know what I'm saying? Is it somehow connected? I see there is a connection, but I mean, it's kind of getting off the freaking subject here. And it's like, you do what you can to provide for the people around you the best that you can to your ability. And just because you're making it doesn't mean that you're in the clear. And just because you're totally destitute doesn't mean that you're condemned. You know what I'm saying? And all these people that came up with these doctrines, it's like, it's just like the slaves. How come they let the slaves hear the Bible and they rewrote it that slaves, be obedient to your masters? And these are all like New American translations. It's because the Bible was liberating people. And during the Inquisition, you can see how that turned out. They were like, no, well, you can't teach what the Bible says because we're losing money. Same thing with Jesus overturning the temple, the money exchangers. Whenever you bring money in to the situation, it becomes an idol. It's mammon. And I'm not hating on people who work, man, and are honest, hardworking, people trying to do what's right. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm only talking about those who idolize their position And then they get blinded to the fact that, like, wait a second, this system isn't freaking fair. It's musical chairs. There's not enough chairs for everyone. So why are you mad at the people who ain't in the chair instead of the people who made the game, the musical chair system? Huh? It's like, give credit unto whom credit is due. And instead of pointing the finger at everyone who ain't doing as well as you or is such a fucking hard worker, at least that's what you see. Because I don't care which way you go in this life. There's no way you get through life without putting in work. And like me, I'm always doing stuff for people for free. You know what I'm saying? Because because of people like that always try to say, "Oh, you're lazy, you're a sloth, you never worked a day in your freaking life." That ain't freaking true. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I haven't been a constant hardcore go-getter, mammon prosperity follower. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, it's like it's just tough out here. I'm from Flint, man, and there's been a fucking depression here for like 10 years, man. So it's always been a real cutthroat environment, and it used to be able to come here to make money on the off the books, but that's dried up, man. And I wouldn't want to go back to those type of lifestyles anyway, just because these people are trying to hurt my feelings because they got more stuff than I do. You know what I'm saying? And when the Bible even is against that as well, it's like the dude who comes to Jesus and he's like, "Yeah, I've served all the commandments my whole life," and then Jesus is like, "Well, then take everything that you have and come follow me. Sell everything you have, give the money to the poor, come follow me." And the dude walks away all broken because he was rich and he had much things and he couldn't stand to let him go that he worked so hard for, and he was so dignified in society and he paid all his taxes and he you know what I'm saying, tithe to the Pharisees every week. You know what I'm saying? But he couldn't sacrifice it all, man, and follow Jesus. Because what's to say Jesus would have followed him for a few fucking weeks, and then the dude would have fell down in a hole and there would have been a treasure down there and he'd have got all his stuff back anyway. You know what I'm saying? It was just a test to see if he was faithful to do it. See, here's the thing. Look, I don't have all these rewards that other people have, and I still believe in God. I still trust in God, and I still see he blesses me even more. And other people see me as only as a curse, only as a loser, as a degenerate. All these words, these neoconservative type stereotypes that they throw on people. The N-word. I need to go back to Africa. Stuff like that. I need to be sterilized. And dude, this country pimps people, man. People get pimped so hard over this American dollar, man. And it's like, I'm not against your work ethic. I'm just against this system. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to remind you that, like, don't let it be an idol. Because you know what I'm saying? If I idolized it, I would be totally broken right now. You know what I'm saying? I'd be totally feeling lost and despair. But no, that ain't how you're supposed to roll, man. You're supposed to thank him in good times and bad times. And I try to do that. And now I can say I've been through bad enough times and I haven't got mad at God. I've never blamed God. I understand that, listen, there's no reason to blame God if he operates for you and he takes things out and puts things in. You can't be mad at God for it. And then if I make a mistake in the process, I can't be mad at God. You know what I'm saying? And I shouldn't give up. You know what I'm saying? And submit to that demon of mammon that says go out and take it by force, basically. And a lot of people do, and they have robbed the public by force. It's coercion. That's force. So even though it's not give it to me, even though they'll do that too. Listen, but it's the subtle nudge. Hey, you got that fire insurance yet? You got that fire insurance yet? You got that fire insurance yet? You got that carbon insurance yet? You got that carbon insurance yet? You better get a job, man. you ain't gonna be able to pay your carbon insurance. And then all these people who got jobs and can afford to pay the carbon insurance, the fire insurance, are gonna look at me like I got it. They're gonna be looking at me like, yeah, you gotta pay up. Look, dude, we paid up. You better pay up now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's exactly how they did this, man. They tricked people into supposing gain is godliness, and that's what I'm trying to say here. And also for filthy lucre's sake, it's like, listen, trust me, I've got filthy lucre before. We're living here in the hood and doing grimy stuff. Of course I have, but I didn't come at people and say, hey, I'm a prophet, please sow into my ministry and you'll be blessed. I didn't say none of that. It was just like, look, it was the game. You know what time it is if you're in it. So, you know, it's on you to cover your own tracks because ain't no one else going to do it for you. But I mean, look, neither here nor there. I'm not there no more. Don't want to go back to nothing like that. And, you know, so I can compensate, you know what I'm saying, to live up to man's expectations and to society's expectations. And see, that's the thing. See, once again, it's another form of idolatry. Who do you fear? You fear the tax man. You don't fear God. You know what I'm saying? You fear people looking down on you. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't money hungry. You know what I'm saying? Because look, when you start to back away from the mammon lifestyle, the mammon lifestyle starts to back away from you. God willing, it goes all the way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm not a socialist, communist, nothing like that. Actually, like I said, it's more like not nihilist, but more like anarchy, which is like, look, stop busybodying in everyone's affairs. Stop pimping us with this false money system, this fiat currency. Stop this law of the sea corporatism, multi laws going on. When if you got people writing policy on both, which one are you loyal to? Are you loyal to us here in America, the people that positioned you into your position, or this global government who is trying to usurp everything here and spread it abroad? You know what I'm saying? Which is wealth redistribution. That's communism. That's Marxism. I'm not into that. I don't want no one to give me money. It'd be more or less, it's like, look, get out the way so I could figure out how to live without having to depend on your fucking connivings and your fire insurance and your carbon insurance and your ties to the Pharisee and my 200 bars of silver to get a burial plot, or the Pope will throw me into purgatory. You know what I'm saying? All these type of hustles and cons, man, it's all from the same thing. It's like, look, it's tribute, it's kickback. And like I said, it's Egypt all the way, man. It's Egyptology, man. It's like, it's slavery, it's bondage, man. People don't even know it. But yet poverty isn't is restrictive as well. And you're also a fucking target. You're the scum of the earth. They want to literally kill people like me, like kill me. And you know, it's like, yeah, to judge me from how I am now, you can't. You don't know my life. You don't know what I had to do. You weren't there when the sun was beating down and the rain and the wind was there. You know what I'm saying? The dirt in my shoes, man, the fucking the sweat and all the stuff I had to put up with people, man, just to get money. Like asshole boss. Getting right to work states where they right before your insurance kicks in, they fire you for whatever reason. Or your coworkers gaslighting and having a campaign, like almost like they love to see you squirm. They'd be like, they love to pump you up with some hope and then rip it out from under you. That's this system. It's slavery. It's bondage. It's Egypt. You know what I'm saying? It's no man should buy, sell, or trade without the mark of the beast. Yeah, if you're going to their system, you're going to have that. But look, it doesn't say in there that, hey, that we could freely give to one another and mutually choose to separate from that system, so we don't have to listen. All your political solutions are not the answer. It's still the same Wizard of Oz controlling it. The only way out of it isn't nihilism. It is a kind of anarchy, but not what they tell you anarchy is. Not pandemonium. It's just where everyone does what they're supposed to do by mutual consent. You know what I'm saying? And there's boundaries and rules, and everyone plays by the rules.